What is positive thinking? Understanding the meaning of positive thinking. What is positive thinking? Many people think positive thinking means smiling all the time. They think it means pretending everything is okay. They think it means ignoring pain, sadness, or problems. But positive thinking is not about lying to yourself. Positive thinking is how you talk to yourself when life is not easy. It is the voice inside your mind. When things go wrong, when plans fail, when people disappoint you, when you feel tired, lonely, or lost. Positive thinking does not say, nothing is wrong. Positive thinking says, yes, something is wrong, but I believe I can face it. There is a big difference. Life is not always kind. Sometimes it is heavy. Sometimes it is unfair. Sometimes it hurts deeply. And positive thinking does not remove pain, but it changes how pain shapes you. Think about this for a moment. Two people face the same problem. One says, I can't handle this, I'm weak, I always fail. The other says, this is hard, I'm scared, but I will take one small step forward. The situation is the same, but the future becomes different. Positive thinking is not about the situation. It is about the direction of your mind. It is choosing hope over helplessness. It is choosing patience over panic. It is choosing growth over giving up. Positive thinking begins when you stop being your own enemy and start becoming your own support. Pause for a second. Ask yourself gently, how do I speak to myself when I fail? Do I encourage myself or punish myself? This is where positive thinking begins. Positive thinking does not mean a perfect life. Let's be honest. If positive thinking meant a perfect life, then no one would ever struggle. But even the strongest people struggle. Even the calmest minds feel fear. Even the happiest smiles hide tired days. Positive thinking does not remove problems, mistakes, losses, sadness. Positive thinking changes how long you stay stuck. Negative thinking says, this will never change. I'm not good enough. There's no point trying. Positive thinking says, this hurts, but it won't last forever. I am learning. I am allowed to grow slowly. Positive thinking allows you to rest without guilt, fail without shame, try again without fear. It teaches you something very important. You are not your thoughts. Thoughts come and go like clouds. Some are dark, some are heavy, but you are the sky, not the storm. Positive thinking is learning to observe your thoughts, not obey every one of them. When your mind says you're not enough, positive thinking gently replies, I'm becoming more than yesterday. Not aggressively, not loudly, but kindly, because healing does not need force. It needs patience. How positive thinking changes your inner world. Your inner world creates your outer life. The way you think affects how you speak. How you speak affects how you act. How you act creates your future. Positive thinking changes how you wake up in the morning, how you handle stress, how you treat others, how you see yourself. When your mind is negative, small problems feel like mountains. When your mind is positive, even mountains feel climbable. Positive thinking teaches emotional balance. It says I can feel sad and still move forward. I can feel fear and still try. I can feel tired and still believe. This is emotional strength. Not forcing happiness, not denying pain, but holding both and choosing hope anyway. Positive thinking is quiet courage. Positive thinking is a daily practice. Positive thinking is not a switch. It is a practice. Some days you will succeed. Some days you will forget, and that's okay. Positive thinking grows when you speak kindly to yourself. Forgive your past mistakes. Stop comparing your journey. Focus on progress, not perfection. Even one positive thought a day can slowly change your life, because small thoughts repeated daily become beliefs. Beliefs become actions. Actions become destiny. You don't need to change everything today. Just change one thought. I'm trying. I'm learning. I'm still here. That is enough. Closing, choosing positive thinking. Positive thinking is a choice. Not once, but every day. It is choosing hope when it's easier to quit. It is choosing kindness when you feel broken. It is choosing faith in yourself, even when you don't fully believe yet. And if today is heavy, if your heart feels tired, if your mind feels noisy, remember this. You are not weak for struggling. You are strong for continuing. Positive thinking does not promise an easy life. It promises a stronger you. Take a deep breath. Be gentle with yourself and keep going. Positive thinking and self-talk, most of your life, is shaped by conversations you never speak out loud. They happen inside your mind. From the moment you wake up, your inner voice begins to talk. It says things like, "You're late. You're not ready. You could have done better." Or sometimes, "You can handle this. Just take one step. You're doing your best." This voice matters more than you think. Because you hear it every day, you believe it slowly, and eventually, you live according to it. Positive thinking begins with changing self-talk. Not by forcing fake confidence, not by shouting positive words you don't feel, but by speaking to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love. If your friend failed, would you call them useless? If your friend felt tired, would you say they're weak? Of course not. So why do we speak so harshly to ourselves? Positive thinking gently asks, what if I spoke with understanding instead of judgment? Instead of "I always mess up." Try "I made a mistake and I'm learning." Instead of "I'm not good enough." Try "I'm growing at my own pace." These small changes may seem simple, but they slowly reshape your mind. Your inner voice becomes a safe place, not a battlefield. And when your mind becomes kinder, your life becomes lighter. Positive thinking. During difficult times, positive thinking is easy. When life is calm, but real positive thinking is tested during storms, when things fall apart, when plans fail, when people leave, when hope feels far away. In those moments, positive thinking does not say "be happy." It says "stay present." It says "breathe, hold on, this moment will pass." Positive thinking during hard times is not loud or confident. It is quiet endurance. It is getting out of bed even when your heart feels heavy. It is trying again even when yesterday hurt. It is choosing not to give up on yourself. Sometimes positive thinking looks like resting without guilt, crying without shame, asking for help, doing less but continuing. That is strength. And remember this, you don't need to see the whole path. You only need to take one step. Positive thinking keeps you moving, even slowly. And slow movement is still progress. Positive thinking and letting go. Many negative thoughts come from holding on too tightly. To the past, to regrets, to mistakes, to things we cannot change. Positive thinking teaches us how to let go without bitterness. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means stopping the pain from controlling your present. You are not your past failures. You are not your old decisions. You are not the version of yourself who didn't know better. Positive thinking says, "I did the best I could with what I knew at the time." And then it gently releases the weight. When you let go, your mind becomes quieter. Your heart becomes lighter. Your future becomes possible again. Letting go is not weakness. It is wisdom. Positive thinking and daily awareness. Positive thinking lives in small moments, in how you wake up, respond to stress, treat others, treat yourself. It is choosing awareness over reaction. When something triggers you, positive thinking asks, "Why am I feeling this?" Instead of reacting with anger, you respond with understanding. Instead of judging others, you practice patience. Instead of rushing life, you slow down. Awareness brings peace, and peace allows positive thinking to grow naturally. You don't need to control everything. You only need to notice. Becoming a positive thinker. Positive thinking is not a destination. It is a relationship with your own mind. Some days will be bright. Some days will be heavy. But every day, you have a choice to be kind to yourself, to believe in growth, to continue. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming. Take a deep breath. Trust your journey. Trust your pace. Trust yourself. The psychology of positive thinking. Positive thinking is not just motivation. It is psychology. It is how the human mind protects itself, heals itself, and grows. Your brain is designed to survive, not to make you happy. That's why it remembers pain more clearly than joy. That's why negative thoughts feel louder. That's why fear comes quickly. This is not weakness. This is biology. Positive thinking does not fight the brain. It retrains it. Psychology teaches us something powerful. What you repeatedly focus on, your brain believes is important. If you focus on fear, your brain learns fear. If you focus on failure, your brain prepares for failure. But if you gently guide your focus toward hope, effort, and learning, your brain begins to build new pathways. This is called neuroplasticity. The brain's ability to change. Positive thinking is not pretending. It is practice. Every time you say, "I can try again," you weaken the fear pathway. Every time you say, "This is difficult, but I'm learning," you strengthen resilience. Every small positive thought is a quiet act of self-healing, and over time, your mind becomes a safer place to live. Positive thinking and emotional regulation. Emotions are not enemies. They are messages. Sadness says something matters. Fear says something feels uncertain. Anger says a boundary has been crossed. Positive thinking does not silence emotions. It listens to them. Psychologically healthy people are not those who feel less. They are those who understand what they feel. Positive thinking helps you pause between emotion and reaction. Instead of exploding, you breathe. Instead of suppressing, you acknowledge. Instead of running away, you stay present. This pause is powerful. In that pause, you regain control. Positive thinking says, I can feel this emotion without becoming it. You can feel sad without becoming hopeless. You can feel fear without becoming stuck. You can feel anger without becoming destructive. This is emotional intelligence, and emotional intelligence is one of the strongest forms of strength. Positive thinking and the relationship with yourself. The longest relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself, and positive thinking shapes that relationship. Ask yourself gently, do I treat myself with patience? Do I forgive myself? Do I respect my limits? Psychology shows us that people who practice positive thinking develop self-trust. They stop fighting themselves, they stop proving their worth, they stop chasing validation. They begin to listen inwardly. Positive thinking builds inner safety. When you feel safe inside your own mind, anxiety softens. Confidence grows quietly. Decisions become clearer. You stop asking, am I enough? And you begin to say, I am learning who I am. That shift changes everything. Positive thinking is not about becoming someone else. It is about coming home to yourself. And if this message brought you comfort, don't forget to subscribe and follow for more calm, meaningful reflections. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here.